Conversations with them two. Voice of the people, the crew for you. Culture, creativity, knowledge, hope, opportunity, bring the light of lives we shine, we break on through. Conversation with them two. Culture, creativity, knowledge, hope, opportunity, your voice matters, your gift shine through. Conversation with them two. Yeah. You are the stage. Shine. Culture, creativity, knowledge, hope.
Yes. That boy Thaddeus is bad. Nothing like conversations with them two. Wonderful opening theme song. All right, family, good evening and welcome to another exciting episode of Conversations with Them Two, the Shenanigans Crew. I'm partially your host, MJ Smith, and
I'm Lady Des. Thank you so much for spending your Monday evening with us, and we are so excited. But before we begin, we want to sincerely thank everyone who has continued to support Conversations with Them Two. We took a short break to rest, refresh, enjoy our time with our family, and to seek fresh direction. But now we're back, and I'm so glad to be back. And we're back with a purpose. Our mission has always been to empower, inspire, educate, and uplift artists, speakers, entrepreneurs, creatives, leaders, authors, musicians, filmmakers, and anyone pursuing purpose God has placed inside of them. And tonight's conversation, y'all, is going bigger than performing. It's bigger than a microphone. It is bigger than the applause. It is bigger than being seen, y'all. It's becoming the person God has called you to be before the spotlight even shines on you. And I think we have the perfect person here to help us bring that out. One thing we have learned over the years is this: before you take the stage, make sure you have spent time with the one who gave you the platform. Y'all hear that? Do you hear that? Once you take, before you even take the stage, just make sure that you have that true relationship with the one who actually gave you the platform, because your gift may open the door, but your relationship with God is what gives you purpose. And here's another truth we hope everyone takes away tonight. Before you take the stage, make sure your character is ready before the microphone is. Talent may get you noticed, but your character determines how long you will be trusted. And that's what we're talking about tonight. All of that wrapped up in one.
You done?
You know what, MJ? I'm so sick.
After all of that, I mean, we need the benediction. May the Lord watch between me and thee. Goodness.
I'm just setting the stage of what we're going to talk about tonight. So,
well,
do you have something to say or not?
I do. Tonight, we're honored to welcome someone who has dedicated herself to helping creatives understand not only their gifts, but also the business behind those gifts.
Yes.
Please help us welcome. Man, she is a radio wife. She's a friend. She's a confidant. She is a cake provider. She's all of that. So, ladies and gentlemen,
mediated, y'all. I mediated because
Lord, and only Miss Lynn, Princess Divine Brown.
Hey, y'all.
Hey,
family.
How you doing? MJ, you forgot to say one more thing. And she's our birthday twin as well, but she's the April Taurus.
Yes, I am. I am the April Taurus. I am. I kick it off.
Yes.
I kick off the season. Hey, family. The triplets are together again.
Yes. It is so good to finally have you on with us.
It is a pleasure. It is an honor. I must say that, sometimes we don't understand God's direction, but everything is his timing and
Absolutely.
all things work together for his good. So
Amen.
that's where I'm going to put a pin in it right there.
All right. So since you're gonna stop right there, we're gonna do it like this. Everybody wants a spotlight, everybody wants to perform, everybody wants a microphone. But tonight's topic is before you take the stage. And before we talk about taking the stage, give us some background because both Des and I already know. But for those who may not know who Lynn Princess Divine Brown is, give us some background.
Okay, so just to give you a little bit of background about me, I started out in radio. Believe it or not, MJ, it's been over 20 years. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yes,
He
time
got caught up
flies.
with my gray hairs. I started out in radio, and of course, both of us together, MJ, we were inducted into the Gospel Announcers Guild in October. As a matter of fact, I remember the exact date. It was October 17th, 2009. That's the first time I gave you a piece of that chocolate cake and
That's
warned
right.
you over.
Oh boy.
So from there, from 2009, I started out in radio in 2004. And from there, just working my way through the industry after being a part of the Gospel Announcers Guild, then moved over to the Gospel Industry Network, was there for a couple of years, and then I guess I'm just going to be real, and was asked to like take a back seat or step down so that we can allow some other people to take place, which I did. And in that process, while I was sitting and had the opportunity, as you stated before, Des, is that we need to get with our maker. And so I spent some time with God and asking him to show me what to do, how to do, when to do it. So while in that process, I had the opportunity to work for a nonprofit, Old Dillard Foundation, and I was hired as the artistic director. So I started out in gospel and I found my way over to the other side. And so I was able to take all of that information and saw that, this industry was bigger than what we see it when we're just on the gospel side. So being able to be that artistic director and bring in my creative flow and make events happen and give artists platforms to perform on, I had the opportunity to see the behind the scenes, what makes it work, what doesn't work, and all of that good stuff. So with all of that being said, and it ended up being, like I said, over 20 years in the industry. And while I was sitting and working, I found myself writing a book. And that book was due to, as we get into the interview later, but let's just say sometimes you get knocked down and you don't know how to get up, and God will give you, it's what Betty Wright said it best, no pain, no gain.
Yes.
So with that, no pain, no gain. So you have to go through some pain in order to gain. And so with that has come, I have my own nonprofit now called Florida Cultural Arts and Music Hall of Fame. We've been established since October of 2022. And I have written a book called the Artist Contract Handbook, which is going to help a lot of artists get the information that they need. And I'm in the process of getting ready to start a workshop called Know Your Business.
Love it.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it about me.
So as I said earlier, everybody wants the stage and everybody wants the performance. But in your book, you talk about preparation. Why is preparation more important than the performance itself?
Preparation requires you to get ready before that time. You need to, the Bible says, study thyself approved.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we know we got a gift, we know we can sing, and or we can write, or we can act, or we've obtained some skills where we can film some stuff. But the one thing that I've learned amongst all creatives, whether you're the painter or whatever, we don't learn the business. And because we don't learn the business, we get taken advantage of. We think that first time somebody offers us a job or an opportunity and we finna get paid just a few dollars, we don't realize that we need to read that, know what that contract is saying. And so in that process, the biggest contract is called a work for hire. And that work for hire book, that work for hire contract is the one that's going to hire you, where they're going to hire you, but you need to make sure you read the clauses, because there's a thing called intellectual property. And with intellectual property, that's your idea. You got to protect it.
Yes.
Because if you don't protect it, it belongs to them. Because all you did was just do whatever they asked you to do. I created a couple of videos to go along with the book. It's going to be a whole series on every chapter of the book, talking about the good of the contract and the bad of the contract. So it's going to show you how you can get taken advantage of. And then on the back end of that, it'll show you how you learn the lesson and knowing what to do when you sign the contract. And so there's like several, the book is short, it's only 93 pages, but in those contracts, there's some stuff I didn't even know. And that's why I'm like, we have to actually really study to study what's in these contracts. So there's the commission fee for service contract. There's the gallery consignment contracts for visual artists. There's the licensing and collaborations contract. There's the work for hire. There's the master use and syncs license. And then there's the I don't want to mess up the man's name, but I'm going to say single artist contract. And then there's the scope of work contract. And then, of course, there's copyright and trademark. But also the very most important thing every artist needs to do before he walks into the room, before he has a discussion, they need to know what an NDA is. They need to know that they should have NDAs with them wherever they go and whoever they're discussing. Just because that person is your friend, that doesn't mean that they won't use your idea. And they're going to go and make money off of your idea. And then the next thing you know, y'all are enemies. But you can't really trust anybody. So therefore, if you haven't copywritten your idea yet, as an intellectual my advice is that you have to make sure you have that person sign an NDA.
MJ, were you going to say something?
Yeah, Lynn, we always, as you said, we go way, way back. And
right.
One of the things that we've always said, even in the very, very beginning, is that, everybody wants to be a part of the gospel industry and not a part of the gospel music business, which goes hand in hand. So, and that leads me to your book and ours. Our book, You Are the Stage, talks about what happens once you make it to the stage. Your book, The Artist Contract Handbook, walks hand in hand and tells everybody what they need to know before they even make it to the stage. So let's talk about one of the biggest misconceptions artists and creatives have.
Well, see, I think one of the misconceptions is, and creatives, they get excited in the very beginning and they think, oh, I am loved. People want me. I made it. Somebody is inviting me to the stage. And they don't understand that person is, first of all, when you first get in, yes, we all got to pay our dues. How many times have we done something for free?
Right.
And that's okay. Yes, you got to pay your dues to get into the industry. I don't care who you are. You cannot bypass that step. But understand, once you have paid your dues, And I would tell anybody, once you have been around the circle one time, you went and did enough benevolence, and I'd say I'll give it a year and a half. Then you need to start understanding what your worth is, and that, hey, this is going to cost you. If I'm doing something in the local area, then my fee will probably be anywhere between $250 and $500. Anything outside of the Tri-County area, then your fee starts going up. Okay, now we're talking $750, $800. Then if we're going from central, and going north, then we're talking, okay, you need to pay me $1,000 because I got to pay for travel. I got to pay for hotel. I got to have a change of clothes. I got to have some outfits to wear. So all of those things cost. And you need to factor in those costs. And so the biggest thing is, somebody invited me to do something and I have an opportunity to speak. And we walk away with nothing, not even a love offering or a token of gas money, especially if you have traveled outside of your local area.
And you know what? MJ, I'm sorry, you're going to say something?
No, I said good stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's definitely good stuff, because and I like what you said at the beginning. They get all excited, and when somebody offers them something or offers them a contract, they don't even take the time to read and see what is actually on there. So if someone received the opportunity of a lifetime, let's say tomorrow, what should they already have prepared before someone says, let's do business?
Well, it's not that what they need to have prepared. What they need to do is say that opportunity of a lifetime is offered to them. The first thing they need to say is, do you have a contract available?
Mm-hmm.
Can I read it? Can I take a minute and read it? Don't be in a hurry to sign that opportunity of a lifetime, because that opportunity of a lifetime, you could be signing your life away and you get stuck. And so we found so many times where there have been vocal artists. I'm going to use vocal artists on the secular side and on the gospel side. They've signed themselves into a contract. And once that contract is signed, what happens is whoever they've signed that contract with, they know that there's another artist out there that's better than you or maybe the same as you, but that's competition. And especially if they have that other artist on their label. So what they're going to do is get you signed to a contract, give you a little bit of money, then lock you in and shelf you, because they don't want you to compete with the artists that they already have out there.
Wow.
And so therefore you got to read, especially those little fine lines. Get you an attorney. And if you can't, well, nowadays, if you can't afford an attorney, baby, there's Chat GPT, Claude, Gemini, and everybody else. You get AI to assist you. Type in that. You can actually upload your contract into Chat GPT, Claude, Gemini, whatever, and have it and give it special prompts to say, please review this contract, read it, and point out the areas that could possibly be a default to me or hurt me in some kind of way that I may lose money or time. And so it'll give you feedback and it'll point out some things. And then that's where you need to go and say, okay, now I need to go and seek legal advice and I need to have a counter contract. Or you can ask ChatGPT or Claude to say, can you write a counter contract for me, and then present it to that individual and say, okay, this is what I want instead of this. And then that cuts out a lot of the BS.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just love you because that you just took me back to the conversation we had earlier.
It's so hard. It's so hard to say churchy, Look, but in this industry, what I found, whether it be gospel or whether it be the secular side, you got to put on some tough skin, because those people that you're talking to, 9 times out of 10, everything is in the name of the Lord, especially on the gospel side. But baby, let me tell you, behind closed doors, they cussing like a sailor. They saying everything else. That one might have a cigar, one might have some weed, it might be some grass. I don't know what kind, but they might have it. So they might have some MD 2020. So I've seen it all, and so
Right.
now I'm at a point in my life. I am not going to sugarcoat it when it comes to that, because that's what we've done every time we've gone to conferences. MJ, as we were talking before, when we've gone to conferences and we spent tons of money going to these conferences, paying for hotels. Before I do that, that's why this book is out there. That's why I have to educate the artist, because when you go to the conference, they're not going to tell you this. They'll want to hold your attention, but they're not going to tell you that you need to read the fine lines in the contract. I'm like, what happened to the business? And the first thing, especially in on the gospel side, they'll say you need to know the difference between business and ministry. Okay, so what's the difference? Tell me. And they leave you hanging. So now you done spent all your money, went to this conference, and you still don't know what's the difference between business and ministry. You're still trying to figure it out. Well, I'm here to break that myth, or explain it to you what ministry is. Ministry is when you get up on stage and you perform. Business is making sure that you know your contracts, making sure that you as an artist, that you got to sign up with the state of Florida. If you're in Florida, for those who are in Florida, or if you're in any other state. For Florida, make sure you register your business with somebiz.org. For creatives, there's what's called an A Corp. It's just like a C Corp or an S Corp, or better yet, layman's terms, let me break it down to you, because some may say that's foreign language. I don't understand what you're saying. It's when you incorporate your business, and you have to decide if you want to be a nonprofit or for-profit business. So typically, for an artist, I would say you want to be a for-profit, and then under another name, you want to create, especially with ministry, you want to be a nonprofit. So that way you could give back to individuals, whatever your cause is. You find a cause, and that's the cause where you want to give back to, or you want to raise funds and have donations made to you if it's ministry. But as an artist, you should always want to be incorporated or have an LLC, and you want to have that A Corp, so that you can, what happens is, Desiree, you're the artist, you're getting ready to perform, your business is Desiree Hall, the artist. So that's how you're going to incorporate, whether it be a C Corp or an LLC. So now when you go to get that check, whoever's hired you, they're going to pay Desiree Hall, the artist. Now you're going to deposit that money into your business account, which is Desiree Hall, the artist. And what you're going to do in turn is write another check from your business account to yourself. And that's how you're going to get paid. And then you're not getting into the tax component of that. But with that being said, there's a thing where you actually can't be taxed twice that way, because once it's taxed, and then that money, you get that money, and then it's not taxed, and you don't have to pay taxes on it twice.
You know what, Lynn, this is good stuff. And I know people are watching like, what the heck is she talking about, right?
Right.
They have to understand that this is the importance of being educated on the business side of things.
Right.
And how to be compensated for, because ministry and business goes hand in hand.
And it does.
Yes, it goes hand in hand. Now, you reminded me of something, and I want to kind of go back to the beginning of when you first started, and you was mentioning the NDAs. You may have people that are watching like, what the heck is an NDA? Can you tell them about those non-closure?
Yeah, so NDA stands for non-disclosure agreement. And what that is it tells you it between you and the other party. You're going to be discussing something, and once you discuss it, they cannot go back and discuss it with
Absolutely.
anybody else. They cannot use what you have discussed for their benefit. You were
Yes.
just having a discussion, and that's it. And so therefore you have to protect your work. You have to make sure that no one is going to take advantage of you. I had a situation where I discussed something with someone, it was supposed to be that they were going to be helping me, and then the next thing I know, they had taken my idea to another city, and they were supposed to be checking into that idea for that city and seeing how I can get booked there, how I can use the facility and whatever and get paid and bring the artists. And the next thing I know, they doing my event
Yeah.
and they got paid.
Yeah.
And they're on Facebook. Oh, congratulations, we had a da 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 da. And so I reached back out and said, wait a minute, didn't we discuss this? And they were like, yeah, but it wasn't, that's not how it went. It didn't go like how we discussed, but it went some kind of way because you did the event and it was my idea. And so to prove it to them, because they thought I forgot, I never delete my text messages. And I'm going to tell anybody, listen, if there's anything you don't delete
Yes.
your text messages, because those are your receipts. And so the only reason why I didn't take it to court, because I didn't have the money. So I had to suck that up. I had to go in my little corner and time out and cry about it. And after I cried about it, and I said, God, God, this cannot happen to me anymore. I say, I've been in this business too long, and I refuse to let anybody else take advantage of me again. No more Miss Nice Lynette, no more Miss Nice Lynn, no more Miss Nice Princess. I say, God, they gonna see Renee. And what they don't want to do is be introduced to Renee, because Renee ain't nobody nice. So I said, I said, God, you got to show me how to do this. So in that process, this is how the book came about. So like Betty Wright said, no pain, no gain. So I had to go through that pain and that suffering and that moment. And the book was birthed out of that moment of learning that if I'm going to discuss something of that importance, of an idea that I have, don't share it with anyone until it has been copywritten and I have them sign an NDA.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. And I just want to add one more thing to the text message, emails as well, because emails, you can have the thread, and it has the timestamp, the date,
Yes,
everything. So you can use your email as well. So when you make these decisions or agreements, just make sure that you put it in black and white. You put it in black and white.
absolutely.
People don't comprehend. They don't understand. But this is what you agreed to. So let's go back. Let's go back to the emails. Let's go back to the text message and say, this is what was said. This is what you said. This is the time and date and everything. So along with those text message, if you have emails where you have corresponded with an artist or a promoter or whoever the case may be, just make sure that you keep all of those.
Exactly, because that's your intellectual property. And so along with the book, I have like a guide for the NDA, and I have a guide for intellectual property. So that way, when you're purchasing the book, you're going to get those two guides. And so that therefore you'll have that information with you at all times, and you're able to protect yourself.
Family and friends, if you're just joining us, we are Conversations with Them Too. I'm your boy MJ. She is
Lady Des.
And we are talking to our friend, our sister, the visionary, radio personality, author, you name it, she's done it. The one and only Lynn, Princess Divine Brown. And we're going to jump over to the comments that we got from Facebook. Frederica, Fred says, good stuff, Lynn, with fire emojis behind it. Novice is checking us out.
Thank you, Fred.
Novice, we see you. And yes, we are definitely handling that real talk. Now, a lot of times, Lynn, we talk about.
Hey, Novice.
Yes, we talk about the business. And
Frederica.
You mentioned a little bit about intellectual property.
Yes.
Why is that the greatest financial asset?
Because your intellectual property is your idea. It's that vision that you can bring to life that it can make you money. And of course, now with AI, if you're not putting your intellectual properties into AI and making it happen, there's no reason why you can't make money from your ideas, no matter what the idea is. Just drop it into AI and it's going to help you make money. AI has made my job so easy. So easy. I'm like, I could be sleeping. I'd be like, let me get my phone. Let me go to my app and let me put this in here. Because before it was write down. Now I got to research it. And then once I research it, now I got to put it together. Now, because of AI is going to research everything. It's going to format it for me. Basically, I just got to read over it, make sure all the information is correct in there. And I want it to sound like me and everything. So therefore, I want to make sure everything is correct before I put it out there. So most people need to make sure that when using AI, it's going to be a good thing for them. But that intellectual property is your idea. That's the idea that pops up in your head in a dream in the middle of the night. For me, it's whenever I'm at work, on my job, all my ideas come to me then, and then I got to put them into action right then and there. So wherever you come up with that idea, write it down. If it's a book, if it's a planner, if it's a video, now you can now you can make your own music video. You ain't got to. I'm sorry to my film people, to my graphics people. Listen. I have made some movies. Mm-hmm. I've done some documentaries. I've done all these things, and now and it's making me money. It is really making me money, so I can't complain. And these are my people. Just tell me, I need this. Oh, that's what you need. Okay, well then this is what it's gonna cost you. And I love it. And I love it.
Listen, Lynn, you are talking some good stuff, and MJ, I can see your face, okay? Because this is one thing that I've been preaching like for the last 2 years in reference to AI, and I'm so happy that you're utilizing AI to work for you. And I know some people try to use it as Google, but it's not that. And
no, it's not Google.
Yeah, so it's you have to command it what you want it to do for you. There's still work that you need to do in order to customize and build that algorithm for it to work for you.
Absolutely.
But don't just use it as a tool or resource. This AI movement could actually be a great asset in every way, financially, mentally. Especially if you're creative like myself, MJ, we always come up with ideas. We have
all the time.
Intellectual property. That's your music, your books, film. Like you said, your documentary, whatever that it is that you feel that God has placed on the inside of you. Write it down.
Right.
Like you said, Lynn. And sometimes I can get overwhelmed with so many different.
Girl, I'm like, oh Jesus! But I be wanting to scream.
Yeah, someone told me the Bible says write the vision
and make it plain.
And it says, and it said it didn't say write the visions with the S. Write the vision. So it just tells me you only can do one assignment at the time. And let me tell you, That made it so much clear to me. And I'm like,
Right.
okay, you only
Yep.
can impact one thing at a time. But like you said, Lynn, at the beginning, a lot of times we get so excited. We want to tell the world. We want to give it to everybody. We
You
want
better
to,
keep it close to your
yeah,
chest.
I'm telling you right here. And when everybody else find out about it, it's when it's time to roll out.
Exactly.
And I
I've
tell
had a
people,
couple of people
yeah,
ask me in the last couple of weeks, "You've been so quiet. Where you been?" I said, "I've been working,
yeah,
and I've been working on what God has given me." So just think, from 2022 to now, I've been working on Florida Cultural Arts and Music Hall of Fame. And see, that particular organization is something totally different. There's nothing like it, first of all, because I went and did my research. Because one of the things I'm gonna put this out there for those who are looking, who are gonna go back and look. I did not want to be duplicating what somebody else is already doing, because
yeah.
I've had that happen where I started doing something and then the next thing you know, everybody doing it. So guess what? I wanted to make sure nobody else was doing it. I wanted to make sure it was incorporated with the state. I wanted to make sure, wait a minute. I wanted to make sure it was incorporated with every city in the state of Florida, that I would have my business license to operate in every state in Florida. So there's some things that I had to do, some classes that I had to take, to learn all this information, that when you step out, I did not want to step out half stepping. I want to be complete, so that when I talk, I didn't want to be talking out of the left side of my neck sounding like Charlie Brown. Want, 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 want. No, when I come, I'm coming correct. So therefore, what Florida Cultural Arts and Music Hall of Fame is, it's a combination of things. It is an organization, a nonprofit organization, that preserves and collects the history of Florida's talent that throughout the state of Florida. So we have people like Angela Bassett, that's from Florida. We have people like Cindy Portier. Of course, we got our dear friend Luke Campbell, who's running for office right now. So we have all these individuals who have made history, and they are of the African diaspora. So I have decided to collect all that information and put it. Right now, it's on a website, but the end goal is to be a museum, because there is no museum in the state of Florida that houses our history. That's number one. Number two, this is an organization that will still work with independent artists and cultivating them and cultivating their careers, giving them a jump start on their careers. Number three, we will be working with kids with autism, so that we can give them a chance to learn and feel the culture of our music, our films, and all of that. So we will have music therapy for autistic kids. And number four, we will be within the organization, we have 3 signature events that we will be doing. That's Red and Black on the Green, which will be an annual event, an elegant annual event. Then we have R&B Soul Arts and Music exhibit, which is a combination of honoring some of our artists. Quarterly, we will be honoring some of these individuals, and then we will be taking that along with an art exhibit, a visual art exhibit. And then those individuals that we honor, we will induct them into the Music Hall of Fame. So then I will continue the music award show that, of course, that was originally started by none other than the great Miss. That's right, MJ, you got it. MJ got his. So that was started by the late great Peppy Hendricks. So in honor of him, we will continue the music awards, but it will be with a whole different spin. It is not just gospel. It is for every artist, whether you're in jazz, blues, R&B, whether you are a film director, whether you are an author, whether you are in dance, theater. Um, we want to cover all of it. So that's what Florida Cultural Arts and Music Hall of Fame is in a nutshell.
And
Man,
if I
go ahead.
didn't get the opportunity to say to you and the organization, it was around the time we were just bouncing back from COVID. I had the opportunity and the honor to be blessed to receive the Pepe Hendricks Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah.
So to the organization, I say thank you. And I see all of the wonderful things that you've done, like you said, with the award show, helping the kids with autism. And at one particular point, you were even holding classes on teaching kids how to DJ and pulling them off the streets. So
Yes.
Florida Arts has been doing wonderful things in the community. And when it comes to the community and the kids, I'm always there. So
Yes,
big
yes.
up to you
So,
guys.
and we're bringing we're actually that's going to be I forgot to mention that that's going to be our artist in residency program where we're going to be taking kids from the age of 13 to 24, and we're going to bring them into the classroom, and we're going to be teaching them music business first, music production, television, and film, because these are for the kids that doesn't make it into the marching band, that doesn't make the dance team, or the cheerleader that didn't make it. So we want to give all these kids the opportunity to find their niche, and by the time they finish with us, when they get ready to go off to college, they can either continue that career in college and get some paper behind their name, or they can go ahead and say, what, I'm skilled enough that I can go out here and make a name for myself in whatever it is that they want to do. So they can be the attorney, they can become the attorney and be the entertainment attorney. So we want to be able to give them the skills that they need now, so when they get older, they are not trying to figure out what they want to do. We've already paved the roadmap for them, because everybody is not going to be the football player. Everybody is not going to be the number one cheerleader. Everybody's not going to go off and be the next jazz great. So the next vocalist. So in order to make sure that we have something for everybody, we want to give them some skills that they could use and create their own career path.
Listen, Lynn, I love it. Your ideas, you always brought forth great productions, great ideas, just for the community, for our people, and that's so much needed. And you mentioned film. You mentioned a lot about film in the last few minutes. So I know we're running out of time, but I really want to hit about film and the licensing for film, because we're on the gospel slope, right? And a lot of times what we have experienced or seen is they get stuck right there. They get stuck in whether it's quartet or choir or their praise and worship. They get stuck. They don't think outside of the box and say, well, maybe my music could be a part of a film or a movie or a documentary. It could be heard that way. And they don't know the steps. And sometimes it's not even a thought. So can we talk about the sync licensing and what that entails and what is needed for an artist to have their music featured in a film or a documentary?
So first of all, what they need to do, because we're going to go back to what we have right at hand every day and we use it every day. We jump on Facebook every day. So you want your music to be heard, you want your music to be seen, you gotta put it on Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, all of those places. TikTok, Instagram. Play your music, sing it. All the time I'm encouraging artists that if you got a song, get on there and sing it. Take some lines out of your song and make a daily quote from it, and then have the music playing as a bed. And then now someone hears your music after they hear your music, then guess what? Oh, we would love to have that song in our film. How can we go about contacting you? They're going to contact you. Now, next, then they're going to send you a contract, and then they're going to say, okay, this is the rate. So now you got it out there because you've been putting your music out there, but you got to take it's the industry has changed where now you don't have to work so hard to get your music heard. You don't have to work so hard to get your music seen. It is, you play it on Facebook, you play it on Instagram, TikTok, all these platforms. Once you put it out there, somebody's listening, somebody's looking. How many artists have gone viral and got #1 hits?
Absolutely.
All because, and they have not signed with MCA. They have not signed with Universal Music. They have not signed with any of the major record deals. They have gotten, and they've made it to BET and all these other places. They won Stellars. They won Grammys.
Yes.
And this is all from YouTube. This is all from Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, because that's what they're looking at. They're looking at your numbers. And then they're looking at, oh, this is a bad jam right here, whatever, what have you. So now that's how your music now is being selected into movies. And don't cast off the little person who is making low budget films. Like, look at Country Wayne. I'm a fan of his. I'm a big fan of Country Wayne's. As soon as I get off the phone with y'all, guess what I'm doing? I gotta go catch up on my Country Wayne videos. But Country Wayne started out as a low budget, using his cell phone to make films. Now he is including music in his films. He could select your music. He said he got 10 children to feed, so he got to make money. In order, listen, that for that low budget film director and filmmaker producer, if he want to include your song in his movie, allow him to do so. You might not make much money now, but guess what? After so many hits, whatever your percentage is that you agree to, baby, you gonna get it.
Yes.
Because if that little low budget film, these low budget films are making it to Tubi. I'm a Tubi fan. So, and trust me, late night, weekends, I'm watching Tubi. I mean, I watch Netflix too, but Tubi is my go-to, especially when I'm at work and I want to be pretending I'm working. I make sure I give them 45%. But that other percentage belongs to me. So I'm watching movies and whatever. But that's how you get your music now into the movies, is by playing your music on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and also putting it on Spotify to be heard. So that's how music selections are being done now.
So Lynn, that's just the tip of the iceberg, and trying to put it all together, you put it all in a book. However, there's something every creative should know about, and it's something called the Know Your Business Workshop. What's that all about?
So the Know Your Business Workshop is the book broken down into a step-by-step plan from getting your business registered with the state of Florida or whatever state that you're in, all the way down to reading contracts. And I've created a curriculum that will outline that, and it will be done. The first one it'll be it's a 5-hour session. And so the first one will be done in that. The cost is $10.
Wow.
But you get, with that $10, you're going to get a workbook, and you'll get the NDA guide and the intellectual property guide. And so you'll have all this information, and you'll have a step-by-step plan on how to get registered. And let me just give y'all a few tips. Once you get registered with the state, Then you'll need to go on and get your tax ID. After you get your tax ID, then you'll need to register with sam.gov. Then you'll need to get your U number, which is a unique identity number, because then that's going to allow you to apply for contracts and grants with sam.gov. Then after you do that, you will need to also register with your city as a vendor. So you want to know why people get on, y'all, I got a little visitor here and they keep peeping. So just say hello.
Hi.
Now, let grandma finish her business, okay?
Okay, Bobby.
And so once you register with that, whatever city you are in, now you get, as a vendor, now your name is on the list to be called as an artist to be chosen, or whatever the case may be. But this is how you get out there. This is how you get paid. This is how you get on the stage at these big festivals, because now they know who you are. So you got to make sure that when you register with these cities, you also have to register and get your business license. Believe it or not, even though you're an artist, register and get your business license, because they're going to call on you first, because you're spending money with the city.
Yes. This is great information, Lynn, that you're throwing out tonight. And we want everybody to know, when is your workshop? Now, everybody who's listening, if you are a creator, a speaker, an artist, whatever it is that you feel that God is calling you to, and this information is helpful information, I want you to share it. I want you to replay it. I want you to get it in your spirit, because our people don't do their research. Our people feel like this is not needed, but this is the necessity to take your business, take your ministry to that next level, along with prayer. I'm not neglecting prayer, but knowledge is power. And you will know how to sit down and discuss the terms, the agreements on these contracts, and knowing what these people are talking about. And sometimes you're going to come in contact with the wrong person. I call them fast talkers, crooked walkers.
Yes.
That's what I call them. Fast talkers, crooked walkers, and all they want you to do is sign. And once you sign, you're stuck. And all because you were either excited, you got emotional, and you felt like everything is good, and you didn't need to read. Or if you read, you didn't know what the terms or the terminology meant in the contract. So get with Lynn. Get with Lynn Brown. She is well educated, well versed, knowledgeable. She's been in this for over 20 years. She can help you get your business set up as an artist, as an entrepreneur, as a speaker, whatever that it is. But I want our people to excel, especially in learning what is needed in order to get started.
Now, there's everything you said was correct. However, you're directing them to Lynn for the information. Know that comes with a price. Okay, so you're getting no information for free. So I'm going to tell you, you guys need to be at this summit when it takes place, when it goes down. I believe it's going to be in August, but know that you can get your hands on the book right now to get a roadmap to starting. And when you get to the summit, then you can pull Lynn to the side and get all of the wealth of knowledge that she has. But just know she's been in the business about as long as I have. And these days, it ain't free no more.
No, it ain't free no more. It costs me. It costs me my time. It costs me some money. Y'all, I'm still paying off student loans. Jesus Christ. It costs. And don't get me wrong. I set the price at a small look, you can go to Burger King. I don't even think you can go to McDonald's and spend $10. Now you got to spend $18 to get a meal. But $10 is all it costs. The event is August 29th. And MJ, what I'll do is I'll go and post all the information up under here. After the event is over, I'll go on Facebook and put it out there.
You don't even have to do that because Fred is already on it. She's in the chat. He's already
Go,
he's
Fred.
That's right. It's already there.
But yes. So it's, you got to know your business. Like I said, we have been to Texas, we have been to Chicago, we've been to California, we've
Wow.
been to Atlanta, all these conferences we've been to. So with all of that knowledge, over the years, and all that traveling over the years, and all the money that was spent over the years, I said, now it's time that we really teach the artists what they really, really need to know about being in the industry. It is a process. There's going to be some ups and downs. And let me tell you that there's going to be a lot of no's before you get a yes.
Mm-hmm.
But in the process of those no's, make sure you protect your intellectual property. If I could tell you anything else, this is what I could tell you: protect your intellectual property. Because without that, guess what? Now you've been told no, and they got your idea.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one thing to be told no and be brokenhearted, but be told no, and they got your idea.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So now it's time. It's time to change the name of the game. It's time to get down to business. So now you need to know your business for real.
It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up, because this has happened so many times to so many artists, so many promoters, and they become discouraged and they just want to walk away from the business altogether. But these are practical things that we just can do in everyday life.
Yes.
Because if it's not the music industry, it may be in your profession or on your job. There's always people that are looking and lurking to take and to steal. After you done did all the hard work, you already put in the research, you're already, you did the study, and here is somebody just to go and take it from you. So learn how to protect that. Contact Lynn. Listen, y'all, this is good stuff. She just gave us snippets, little nuggets
little nuggets. But trust me, it's real. Read all the things I can tell you. Even if you don't go to everything I just said tonight, I want everybody to research it for themselves, because I can tell you one thing, and you might not believe me. Research it. Research is key. The thing that we have the tendency to do is we want somebody to hand it to you on a silver platter, and that's it. And then on top of it, you want it for free, and that's not gonna work. If you're not willing to eat peanut butter and jelly, then you're not serious about your business. Because let me tell you, I done ate peanut butter and jelly, and I done ate them ramen noodles. I done did all of that. I've sacrificed all of that. I've sacrificed having a car for a year so that a music awards could get done, because I invested $30,000 into the music awards. So that's how hungry I am, because I want to make sure that you know what you need to know in this business, because I want to make sure you don't walk away. I want to make sure you don't get taken advantage of. I'm tired of people using people.
Yeah.
That's just the bottom line.
That's real. MJ?
Now, family, it was another wonderful edition of Conversations with Them Too. So we're going to encourage everyone to go and support Lynn Brown by attending the Know Your Business workshop on Saturday, August the 29th. If you drop down in the comments, you can register for just $10. Also, we want you to get your copies of our book, You Are the Stage, which is a basic guide and reference every artist should know. And you got to make sure you get your hands on the Artist Contract Handbook, because they do go well together. They work hand in hand. They're resources which will equip you with the knowledge and the confidence to thrive, not just on the stage, but in every area of your creative journey.
Yes. Absolutely. And you know what? We encourage you. I can't stress it enough, as MJ has already stated, to get those books. Change your mindset, shift your mindset about becoming more knowledgeable about your craft. Learn it, earn it, own it. Okay, because if you don't learn it, you can't. What are you going to do? You can't earn it. You can't own it because you're going to be lost. So we ask that you please support Lynn Brown. Go to the workshop. It's only $10 for wealth of information. She could have easily charged $500 and $600 because MJ,
Absolutely.
there's so many workshops going on, and they're charging. They're
Oh yeah,
charging.
they are charging, they charging big money, and I said no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it because it's not worth it. What I want people to do is understand. I need you to pay something. I'm going to share the information with you. I'm going to walk you through the process. I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know. So when you leave me, you will be fully equipped to
Yes.
get to get yourself started. And if we start with you, one person can bring in 10,000 people. And so, and that's what we want. We want one person to be able to go out and say, you know what, I learned from this. I purchased the book and it's done wonders for me. Or I went to the workshop and it did wonders for me. And man, I got this, and this, and I learned all of this behind it. So it is important that you get the information and just go visit the website. You will see all the information there. FloridaCulturalArts.com. That's it for me. That's all I'm going to say. But go to the website.
All right, family. We want to make sure you sign up at FloridaCulturalArts.com. Become a part of the movement. You can see the links in the comments below. I just want to say thank you for joining us for another episode of Conversations with Them Two. We are the Shenanigan Crew. Des, if tonight's conversation encouraged you, like, share, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and definitely get all the books that we mentioned below. We want you to also share this broadcast with somebody that needs to hear it. The community is growing, and that's what it's all about. We've always been big on sharing the information. So the information is there. All you have to do is go out and get it if you're serious about your craft. So I will say until next time, we want you to keep growing, keep learning, keep preparing, and never stop investing in the gift God has placed in you. Stop it. We do this each and every Monday night at 8:00 p.m. right here on Facebook and on our YouTube channel, Conversations with Them Two, the Shenanigan Crew. So before you take your next assignment, Des, what should we do?
What?
Before you take your next assignment, what should we do?
Oh, prepare. Be prepared. Be prepared for the assignment.
And what I want you to do right now, I want you to prepare to get off the stage.
Good night, everybody. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you again, Lynn.
You're so welcome.
All right, family. See you right back here next Monday night at 8:00 in the p.m. Until next time, we bid you love and we bid you peace. Good night.
Night.
Good night.